So a quick one. I just want to show how A plus setup works. So you can see my time frame. I already spot out my analysis. You see my higher time frame. I'm sure you can see my higher time frame. You can see I have my breakout structure downward. I understand that the market is a downward trend, so I understand the trend of the market. The market is a downtrend market. I've spotted that already. So you can see that the market is downward. It's moving. It's creating breakout structure downward. You could see it. So I waited all through for the market to give me a clear direction. So after this breakout structure, if you look upward after the breakout structure, the origin that causes breakout structure is this zone. So this is the origin. Why am I placing here as the origin? I want you to look at something. You see, because this point is already mitigated. This other block is mitigated by this. So placing a trade for me is very risky. So the block is mitigated, and even though you place a trade for me, see the market reacted from this. So I wait patiently, although this has been long. So now see something now. Here we have a sweep of liquidity, and we have a breakout structure. This, and I have an internal breakout structure. Breakout structure on this trade, which is this. Let me show you our internal breakout structure, which is this. We have an internal breakout structure on this trade, which is this zone. Yeah, we have an internal breakout structure, which is this one. An internal breakout structure, which is this. So now pay attention to this. This is our internal breakout structure. Here is it. So we have our injury, we have our check, we have our order block, unmitigated order block. Where is it? Yes, our unmitigated order block. I hope you can see it. This is my unmitigated order block. This is my unmitigated order block. Here is it. Order block unmitigated. Here is it. Yes, my unmitigated order block. And we have our inducement. So I told you what is inducement. So for you to see this what kind of inducement is this? So if I'm using the internal breakout structure, this should be a type 1 inducement. If I'm using the external breakout structure, this is a type 2 inducement that forms after the breakout structure. So depending on the one you are viewing. So after spotting this, the market tap into my point of interest. You can see the market tap into my point of interest. So market tap into my point of interest, and you can see this is a 4 hours time frame. Market taps my point of interest. I'm waiting for the market to clear this liquidity, which is the sell side liquidity. But before the market clears sell side of liquidity, it will take days. It will take me waiting for days, probably sometimes days or weeks or months. So I do something. This is where A plus setup makes sense. I did something. So I went to my 15 minutes time frame. My 15-minute time frame, I got this setup. That is, which is this setup was yesterday. I got this internal breakout structure. Mark my order block. You see it. Internal breakout structure. I got this internal breakout structure. Then my order block. Yes, my order block. I marked my order block. I waited. Price tapped in. I dish out FTSE. This was yesterday. I think I don't know if I shared this one. This was yesterday. So even this trade has sweep of liquidity, which is this. That sweep of liquidity, which is this zone. You can see a sweep of liquidity was here. So today coming back, the market gives me another clear setup again. On see that 15-minute time frame. So I want to show you how I spot today's to the way I spot that's the setup of today. So now look at, let me delete this first, start afresh, let me carry along. So look at something now. After this setup has played out, I still continue the trend. So I want you to see something. I still continue following the market trend. See, it's a breakout structure here. It's a breakout structure. Internal breakout structure. We have another breakout structure here downwards. You find that the market's on the downtrend, which is this. So aligning your higher time frame with your lower time frame is the goal. So now I spot my order block. So I spot my order block, unmitigated order block, which is this. Yes, my order block unmitigated. this is this zone here. Yes, so let's mark my order block. So the concept is just easy. Understand the concepts and you are true to go. So I spot out my order block, then I make my sweep of liquidity. This is my sweep of liquidity. Market sweeps liquidity, or should I say, let me place my sweep of liquidity from here. My sweep of liquidity, my sweep of liquidity. And after marking my sweep of liquidity, one of the things I look at is this market having inducements. Yes, of course, this market has an inducement and liquidity. This is an inducement zone. It's an inducement zone. This is an inducement zone. Inducement zone. All these are liquidity, because if you look at it now, the market is giving us another recent break of structure, which some traders may be feeling okay. Since the market is giving me another break of structure, some traders may feel okay, the market is going to react from this zone. Some traders will be like, okay, the market is going to react from this zone. Some traders will be entering the trade from here, but this is a liquidity zone. So now I use Fibonacci retracement to check something. I use my Fibonacci to check where the trade will be reacting from. So this is what I do to mark my liquidity zone. So I use my Fibonacci. So where's my Fibonacci? So I use my Fibonacci. So I test it. I place it on my recent break of structure. So now, where do you see our inducements? So our inducement must be inside our 50%. So where's our 50%? Our inducement must be inside our 50%, and these are 50% here. These are 50%. This 50 inducement must be from this 50 to 100. This is where the inducement must be, and you can see this an inducement is inside. So showing that the market is going. This is an inducement zone. I don't know if you get me. So our inducement is inside my 50%. This 50% is inside this 50% zone. So I've seen that okay, price may retrace from this zone. So I know that this is an inducement zone. So what I do, I mark out that zone as my inducement zone. So having seen that that spot as an inducement zone, so I mark this out as my inducement zone. So I'm waiting for price to do something, come to this point, tap into this just to clear the inducement. So that is how I got this recent setup. Then I mark out my 50%, which I want price to always test, which is this zone. 50%, which I want price to always test before I confidently take a trade. The 50% zone, it's just based on my confidence. Price should always tap into the 50% of your order block before you're confident to take a trade, and that is how I've been doing it, based on how I'm being taught. So I've marked out my 50% order block. So rest my sell side liquidity should be present too. My sell side liquidity, where I'm expecting price to clear the liquidity. I'm expecting price to clear, which is this zone. This is zone here. Sell side liquidity is present. So I position, I enter. So I position, I check my risk to reward. So how much am I willing to risk on this trade? How much am I willing to risk on this trade? So that's my concern for now. So how much are we willing to risk on this trade? So let me see how much we are willing to risk on the trade. So if I'm entering this trade from this point, I'll be taking profits here, which is this zone. So I take profit to be around $16. So how much am I risking? So let me say if I'm risking $3, where will it be? Let me say $3. Let me see. Let me say at this zone we'll be risking, at this point we'll be risking at least $3. So let's I'm entering a trade from the tap bid. For entering a trade, since I'm not risking much. So in this kind of trade, I'll be entering the trade from the when it taps the order block, I'll be entering the trade, or I'll wait to see what the trade will do in the 50% zone before fully entering the trade. So let's check out risk to reward again. Entering the trade from here, getting at CP at this zone, which is $16. We're risking, yes, at least $3. So see this now, see how it gets. So I spot out my setup. So it's $3 on the trade. So this is how sports value setup, and this is an A plus setup. A plus setup. So it's a beautiful one. You could follow through the trade. Thank you.